Hey, good afternoon. It's Jack. How you doing? So here, right along the right-of-way of what may be the Green Line extension. So it's been such a hot topic, especially in the last 24-hour, 36-hour news cycle, that I actually come out to the exact location and kind of give you a quick walk around, because, you know, a lot of people have talked about this, read about it or whatever, but there's a lot of folks that never been here. And then when we're done, we'll kind of make our way back to the old Lechmere Station, which is just across the street. And if there's any comments or whatever, fire away. But I'm going to flip the camera around now to give you an idea of where, that's better, there you go. This is the right-of-way where the Green Line would actually travel straight down here. And then behind the Glassworks building, which is that building here, a long time ago I actually used to go in there and buy buttons, political buttons by the case. I'm going to take a quick walk because across the street here, I'm at the corner, by the way, of Water Street and O'Brien. So O'Brien's right there, just across the street from the old Lechmere Station. So over here you got your T Improvements sign, contract extension number 1, phase 1, $13 million. And of course today, there's nobody here, but this would be the site of where they build the train station. You can actually see, if you look closely right down there, there's some old tracks still there, buried in the gravel, because of course this glass factory had a little spur to serve it. I'm going to walk behind the glass factory here and show you where the actual train station would be, about 3/4 of the way through the glass factory, so a little bit closer to downtown. Right now they just have some arborvitaes here as a buffer. Those will probably have to go. Of course, the glass factory now is condos or apartments or something. This would have been the old location of the old train spur for serving the factory, you know, years ago. So we're about 3/4 of the way through the factory. So the actual train station would be right over there. In a second, when I come up the hill in the parking lot, you'd be like, oh, I know where he is. Not too far away. Thank you for the few people that joined me. Thanks. Nice to see you today. Right now, get the best look right through here. It's parking lot. Yep, parking lot. That's it. This would be actually where the location would be of the new Lechmere Station, which would be the first, well, not really the first stop, but would be the critical new station in the whole Green Line extension phase. Obviously is a Green Line extension now. I mean, there obviously is a Green Line station here at Lechmere, and that's it across the street there. I think that's dating from like the 1920s, 1922 or so. It wasn't too long ago, I can remember, where you could come here and the Haviland Candy Company was across the street. You can actually smell the candy. I don't know if there's any more candy factories here. I know the nut company is still in business down the street, and that's pretty cool. You can smell the nuts roasting on a day when they get it cooking. But obviously, if you're looking at the infrastructure here, the Lechmere Station, it's past its prime, for sure. And a new station is absolutely justified and certainly merited. I think that one of the biggest things two big things take place for me over the last, say, 36 hours in the news cycle here is the train station, train approaching there from over the river. Two big things. One is the interview that the Conservation Law Foundation gave this morning to BUR. And critical point that Conservation Law Foundation was saying was that even if the current Green Line extension is built, as many people are talking about it, possibly getting approved if the feds will approve the revamped downscaled plan. But Raphael at the Conservation Law Foundation saying that will not even be enough. Not so much that it's not glamorous enough, or the stations aren't elaborate enough. But no, his major objection, and he inferred that legal action is not imminent but certainly possible, is that the Green Line extension doesn't go far enough, and he's pushing, and he says that it's part of the consent agreement for an additional 1 mile extension of the Green Line extension beyond Tufts area there. So when we were looking at the new revised number that's been revised down, that does not include that extra mile that the Conservation Law Foundation seems to imply this morning on BUR that would be required to comply with the consent agreement. So that's a huge takeaway, and for those not seeing it in the media, that is a huge item, and I don't think the Conservation Law Foundation is really going to ignore that particular item. And the next big huge item that for me that a lot of people are missing is it's not so much whether we have enough to build it, 2.3 billion or whatever it's going to cost, plus this extra mile that the Conservation Law Foundation wants. It's whether or not, here comes another train, it's whether or not we actually have the money to operate it once it's built. And that's an incredibly important question. You did hear some of the folks from the Fiscal Control Board mention that as a particular topic of concern. And when you look at the operating and the state of good repair deficits, that's a legitimate question. Where is that money going to come from? It's highly not going to come from fare revenue, just in terms of those additional 6 stations that they're going to build. One other thing that you should know, of course, is while we're here at this particular site, is that we do have the North Point condo, and I didn't mention this, but they're probably going to be ponying up some money. They got a building here and some other buildings over there, and there's a lot of additional revenue that's going to be generated from having a new station. Not that this one isn't functioning, it is, but it's certainly past its prime. But up and down the line, all the way. Who should pay for that? That's a big question, and I'll leave it to you. All right, you have a great day, and that's it from Lechmere.